following is a special MRE Uno presentation, Division 1, Super League 2024. Nam, Steven, a big shockwave is about to happen. For Nam, a huge win over Ghost, but it couldn't come without a scare. Game 6, Ghost on a run, but to no avail. Nam clutched up and got us 3 points. He's in P2 in the groups with a little help, but can he soar to P1 tonight? A big test awaits as the unknown rocks through the door. For Steven, it's different. He's on house money. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. At 2 points fresh off the island, in nearby Mykonos, he comes back with fresh eyes and fresh olives, looking to plant a tree in Nam seeds. Steven, Nam, both hungry young puppies, looking for the crusade moment. For Steven, what an upset it would be to take care of business against the perennial favorite. For Nam, a win here, no matter what happens, he's on to the round of 12 and has a chance to play for seeding in Week 5. The stakes can't be any higher for both. But there's one big question. The undeniable draw city of Nam, or the draw city of results from Steven? Because tonight, only one thing matters. A win and advance. Welcome to Week 4. Welcome to the final stages. A massive match is in store tonight between two hotshots. The man that made the Jungle July finale and fell to the runner-up in the case of Tapir, and a guy that's lost to Tapir twice in Steven in D2, collide. This is our highest ranked matchup, as in the 8 versus 16. Doesn't get much higher than that, other than the old 7-15 we saw in Group A. So now we'll get to see our low-end, high-end spectrum on the seeding. A lot of playoff implications. For one, winner moves on. For the other, winner puts themselves in a really good spot for Week 5. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nam Steven. Going to be a great game 4 versus Canada. A lot of great stuff here in store. I'm going to just off the top here before we get any further. I was not supposed to be streaming any games this week, but I was okay streaming a Monday game, and because of that, I'm here tonight. I will not be here for the rest of the week, so these are the only 2 games I'll be here, and we'll go on further with that. But let's go on to the schedule, and it's going to be, of course, Nam Steven here at 6 o'clock, and then the other Group B game, we'll finish it up with William, Brock, and Ghost. That's going to be a great one. For Ghost, has to win, must win. If Ghost loses that game over. His season will come to an end. For Brock, he doesn't have to win that game, but a tie at the minimum would be good for him. If he loses, he's not out of it, but he knows he needs to get the tie, so it should be going for Brock and, of course, Ghost. Now, the other 2 games, unfortunately, I will not be here for. That'll be Lane DJ, and to be honest with you, at the 2:30 game, I have no idea what to think about that one. That will be, can DJ finish off Lane? That'll be something to note. And then, of course, JT Sanford. The Teratology, round 4 of that, round 3 in 2024 of that, the trilogy in 2024, Teratology in the series. It's going to be a good match there. That'll be the 9 o'clock classic to bring us home in Week 4. Of course, then we go to the group standing graphic, and as I said, the winner scenario, we have it right here in front of us for Nam. He wins, welcome to the round of 12. The only thing he really would care about next week, if he does win tonight, would be seeding. And that's something he'll have to decide if he does win. For Steven, if he gets a win here, it's going to be a hell of a match with him and Chomik in the Week 5. That could be a very likely the last game of the round. We're going to try to get those clinching games, the last game in the round, usually for week 5. Get all the eyeballs and spotlight on that, but we'll see. Regardless, he can't be eliminated, win or loss tonight, unless it's just really the rare 6-0. Then it's going to be a very uphill battle if he does somehow lose 6-0 tonight. But even 5-1, so he's got to try to avoid the 6-0, 5-1. But for him, a win here, he puts himself in a good spot. For Nam, he also can't be eliminated tonight with a loss or a win, or a loss or a tie, but a win would put him over the top and move him to the round 12. That's the scenarios tonight. We were supposed to have Ed Ziemba in the booth. He's supposedly coming in a little later. I don't have an estimate of when he's coming in, but we are going to try to get Ed close to the brink here, hopefully soon. But I'm going to make sure he does come in like 5-10 minutes. If not, we'll figure that out. But we will have Ed here shortly. So joining me is just going to be Ard. Ard, obviously, big game for both guys, right? We have to understand. Nam has nothing to lose in the sense that he knows he can't be eliminated. Steven, in a sense, he loses tonight. That's a rough battle, right? You look at Nam, yes, has he had struggles in the past with William Brock? Sure. But if he gets the win tonight, William Brock won't even matter. If Steven loses tonight, the points leader, the current points leader, as in Chomik, is coming next. That's a hard road to battle. How do you think both players have to approach this? One, you got to get the win for sure, but you also had the scenario where a point wouldn't hurt, but you just can't get the loss. How do you try to define week 4? Because this is the kickoff game for the week, and that's always a tough spot to be in.
Well, here's the thing. You gotta understand this. This is the beginning of the biggest 2 weeks of these stages. Because, as we know, last year, these 2 weeks were the most intense. Because of how important it was to get into the next part of Super League. And that's where it is right now. Both guys are kind of into the pressure here that maybe a win will do wonders. But the feeling of a loss could be detrimental for one of them, while the other one may be kind of fine with it, but it kind of builds up the pressure going into that week number 5.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look for both players. Obviously, Nam's been here before in the sense that he's been in this spot. Maybe not so much in the postseason, but in the regular season, he's been in high-profile games. Steven has as well with the D2 championship, of course, with the losers bracket. That could prepare him. And then, of course, he had to beat background twice. But this is a different scenario. You still got points on the line. And you also know a win here can really solve all problems. So it's the last 2 weeks. These 8 games are the most intense 8 games this week and of course next week of the season. And I'm gonna look forward to see the pressure build. We'll start now. I know his mindset will be interesting. Now you're coming in here in a pressure environment. You know there's only 2 things you gotta do tonight, right? You get the win, and then you don't gotta worry about week 5, or you get a tie or a loss, and then you're gonna have to think about week 5. How do you approach knowing you've been in these spots before? Maybe not so much in a Super League set, but in the past you've been in these spots where you needed to get a win to build that resume. I have to look back at T4. Probably your biggest win was that lane win, and enough to get you over the hump to get in the Super League. But what you got to do here tonight to get the W and put all the critics to rest. Steven, my question, you're going to type that. Steven, obviously you've never been here before. You're in a spot where you've impressed the first 2 weeks. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. I'm not only ask 1, but 2. First off, what did you learn off the bye, right? Just tell us what you learned off the bye, whether it be off the table, on the table. We'll just share that. And then the second question, you've played a lot of tough opponents. I would say Brock and Nam are the 2 toughest opponents of this group. How do you handle the rapid style that is Nam, but also has a lot of looks that most people would not see coming? Thoughts on that and what you got to do tonight? Feel free.
Well, to answer your first question, what I learned was perhaps I just need to stick with what I'm good at. I tried to switch things up last time and possibly blew a potential win against Brock last game by going to a 5-card start, and clearly that wasn't my specialty. And I'm sorry, can you repeat your second question? I forgot about it.
Yeah, you're good. No, that happens a lot. My second question is, what do you got to do to try to slow down Nam? What do we got to try to do to get basically not only his head, but how you got to try to get an edge on him. I would say this man Nam and Brock were the two toughest opponents to face. Obviously, you played Brock, who has a completely different style, fade looks and all, but Nam is definitely someone that will just boom, game's over in a flash. But he also has the ability to slow things down. How are you gonna try to get into his head tonight?
Well, I'm only I'm only scared of one person, and that's Tapir. So I'm not too worried about Nam. But it's definitely concerning because he does have the most, I'd say, the most information about me. I see him around the D2 server. So I mean, if he's paying attention, then yeah, he knows how I play. He knows how I plays, and he's already got like a lead in Group B, and also chose to select the card starts and matches 4 to 6. So perhaps he can observe what's happening in these first three games and maybe try something different based off of those first three games. So I'm just hoping to do what I always do and really like adjust to Nam's playstyle because I haven't played him, and also to just ride the highs that I get. And if I do get if I do suffer some losses, to not really beat myself to beat myself over it, and to not let that get into my head, and to just really persevere.
Resistance and perseverance are. We'll have to look into that tonight with Steven. Of course, Nam, he basically said, just got to focus on the game and go for the win. I've done it before. I can do it again. That sounds that's pretty much what you would expect from him. Simple, short,
Yeah.
sweet to the point. Let's get down to business. That's how Nam is. Let's do it. Our big match here, week 4. We start to get into the big matches now. Of course, Nam deferred, so he'll get the game 4 through 6. Steven, the goal for him definitely will be trying to get game 1 of 3, get the 2-1 lead. Of course, change your name, ping if you want. Be a 6, no power play. TI 3-3 coming. Let's make sure we put no power play there.
Yeah.
TI 3-3, and then Art will say those most famous words for our friend Steven, who's done a really good job these first 2 weeks off a bye. Let's see how we'll go. Art, say those words.
Steven, how many cards for game number 1?
We're gonna oh my.
Oh, we're sending it already.
Oh
We're
boy.
sending it already.
No hesitation. That's how Steven's gonna do it. Here we go.
Well, let's start off week number 4.
Week 4 about to begin. Art's about to type down. We started off with a Pack Watch 0.
Wow.
We've seen the zero sugar starts before, but very rarely we see them in red. Usually it's been the Jenna or the old blue zero. Nam now going to play quick. We know that. Steven quick as well. Double 1 combo from Ghost to Peter into Zay. Let's see if Nam slows the pace down or tries to play into the flow. Goes into Chomik. 1 up this time into old Brian. We'll see about Ed tonight. I have no idea where he is at. Hopefully he'll show up. Me and you are right now.
Yeah. Yeah, as Nam did a double play there, but that double play was for nothing.
Well, never mind. Art's bailed out. He bailed out, Art.
Yeah, he got bailed out real quick.
Real quick, really aggressive with the light switch.
And here's the thing: the box is open. Pandora's box is already open.
Well, 8-8. Steven will throw a +2. It's 6-10 now. Now I'm trying to respond back.
And now with 2 freshies here, he could try to do something, but he's going to play it cool for right now and kind of wait for his move.
Another light switch. Steven going aggressive. Here comes Nam.
Oh, this is aggressive.
Yes. Well, he's going to pay the price there, Art.
Here we go again with this.
Classic 1-2. We're tied up again. Steven with the possession error. Nam throws a little bit of a heat there. Gets to a more of a neutralized game. Steven, huge quad play coming.
Big play.
Could have been a finish. Could have.
Yeah. Could have.
Goes back
But
to blue, the classic. Steven had the
good.
answer. Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh no.
he had something. He had something.
Knob plus
But
2. Beautiful. He does a double plus 2 save. Wow.
that was a good move there by Nam. Really
Classic
like that
ammo
sort of.
control. I like it. The ammo control on full display. Steven's got a fire back. He throws a plus 4 heat check, but that could have been a finish or prevented. That's not Nam. That's Stingray. And plus 4 Zabia. Let's see what Nam will do now. Let's see if he's going to fire back here. Plus 4 on the Freshies Ard.
Yeah, 4 freshies here.
There's the Freshies.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go again with the plus 2. Big plus 2.
Good move there.
Yeah.
Like what Nam's doing here with the ammo control.
Yeah, now I'm really doing a good job with ammo control. I get a sip of water. You're choking on that. But we'll see how it goes. 2-5 now, Steven. On the doorstep. Now I'm just going to run it clean. Here comes Steven for Uno. Does he have it or is it check? Is it a big... It's a huge heat check.
Check. That's a check.
Plus 2 save. Are you kidding me? Every answer he's got.
Good move there by Nam.
Nam, heat check of his own.
Oh, will that be game?
Steven, does he have an answer? No way. That's game! No, Nam gets... Oh, no! We got play at the end. Had to go for it. Wow.
Wow.
Nam, you went for the gap, but you got burned, man. What was the theory behind it? I really don't have much to say. Could you have maybe just held off and tried a classic, or... I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what the theory was, man.
Oh, wow.
Steven, I felt like you had the game multiple times, but he kept throwing the plus 2s. How many times did you have to adjust? How many times did you say maybe it could have been anything? How many times did you have to adjust that series to get back into a groove? Because there was multiple times where those plus 2s were definitely throwing you. How did you have to adjust your game plan to get to the finish?
No, yeah, so my original game plan was, hold on, let me go through, when did I get, well, those plus 2s actually helped me sometimes, because the first one that he threw, I got my wild plus 4 from that, and I got a blue 5, so after that it was just, use all my skips, I have a red 5, a yellow 5, a blue 5, and a wild plus 4, this is like working out. Another plus 2. Okay, I just need to bounce back from this, play all my cards. Play all my cards. I have a wild left, so that has got me the game, and then another plus 2. But thankfully, I got a red plus 2 from that, so it was just like praying and hoping that Dom played a red card, and he did, so I got really lucky there.
Ed, appreciate you joining. I just missed the game one. Steven went. Steve, have you figured out Nom's style early, or is it still too early to read for you on your end? Have you started to figure out what Nom's been doing to get you a possible edge, or you still need a couple more minutes of the gameplay to really understand what he's got going on?
I mean, I see what he's playing with his ammo control, so that's interesting to know.
All right, we'll go to Ed here. Ed, appreciate you coming in, man. Your thoughts early on? We'll get you for game 2, Ed. We'll fill you in game 2. Art, really interesting game. It came down to he went for the gap. They both went for the gap on the wild, and both had a plus 2 save. But do you think Nam could have held off there on the red, or do you think you like the gamble? Because up until that point, the only thing that had been played was a possible red flush, and that was about all I could really just realistically think of. Thoughts on how really the flush was the only thing preventing Nam from the win? Steven did a good job on the back end to use that little classic move, sneak it in.
That was just one of those really good close games there that came down to just the last play. I don't think really Nam could have done anything else. If that was the route he had to go towards, he couldn't do much else. Mostly, Steven beat him to the punch. He got the win of game one, and here's the thing that this is what he needed to step up towards is at least getting a good homestand here on this first half of the game.
Well, now I'm down in the hole. He's been here before. Steven up in game one. He'll have no full send, but everything's free on the board. Let's see what he picks here.
Yep, no full send here for you. How many cards for game number two? Steven?
We're going to go one down.
Down one this time to 14.
Now we'll go double OG. Steven looking to go up 2-0 here. Nob, trying to tie this up. Ed, welcome back, buddy. Appreciate you coming in. Thoughts on this series so far? Obviously, we know both guys like to play very intricately quick, and also there's a little bit of ammo control from Nob early, and Steven did a good job flushing it out.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see these two play. They both play really quickly, which makes it really fun. I've never seen Steven play before, so I'm really excited to see what he does. Obviously, he's up one right now on Nam. So let's just see how it goes.
Now we'll see how it goes. We'll keep it going. A little fade look there from Steven. Remember, we talk about this, Art. Steven's starting to get more comfortable, and you think about him, he has nothing to lose. He's the only guy ever in league history that will become a D2 champion in the Super. We're never going to see that again. He has nothing to lose as we continue the light switching. Do you think that gives him an advantage early, knowing he has nothing to lose, and he starts to become more comfortable with the process?
I think it's about just waiting and seeing how it goes in time. And right now, I think that's just something that Steven's kind of getting into. Yeah,
I'm out of blue, Art. This is huge.
this is perfect for Steven right now.
Well, just as I say that, possible jailbreak.
Oh, yep, that is.
Well, Steven's out. Here comes Nam. He'll start to run it back now.
Well, this is what Nam needs. Now
Like all of a sudden, the pendulum swings. Steven now draw city.
There's
Here
our
we
first
go.
draw city.
Yeah, we're heading towards Draw City.
And we talk about Nam all the time on his draw. This is what he wants. He wants players to get into this draw city.
Yeah, it really seems like he benefits off these draw cities. He can like take a break, kind of analyze his cards, get a couple new cards, and that's where a lot of time he attacks.
Steven trying to break it. He knows he's got to try to break it right here. He might do it. He's gonna. Oh my, Art! He checking a half right there. Huge +6.
That's a lot of cards there to Nam, and Nam just immediately goes back to yellow.
I don't think that's the right move. I think Steven's gonna summon the back end for that.
I think you're gonna probably be right here.
I don't know if that's the right move.
We'll see here in a second.
Steven's gonna.
No,
it's the right move.
That was the right move.
You just got to play the right numbers now. That's the problem with that move. That's the problem with that move, Ed. Right?
Whoa!
You start to get to an ammo war on the number efficiency, and that's where it can spiral out of control. That's the move with the. I think the ice cell looked good on paper, but you kind of need to wait for that time to ice. He did the right thing going back early, but I think a little unforced error from Nam there. He knows it too. Can try to get this one back.
Yeah, well, just losing a little bit of control there.
Steven looking for a possible run right here. He's going to have a double. Nam Chomik's it up with the ditto. Steven switches into red. Let's see if this is where Nam pounces are. Big moment here. Back. This is a good move. The question is. Yeah, I was going to say, was it a classic? It is a classic. KT classic in the building.
That's one of those good old classics that you either like it or you hate it.
Yeah, you can tell Arnam he's got to find something here. He does not have what you would say that magical connection early. He hasn't been able to find the connections, and it's a big statement here if Steven can get this up 2-0.
Yeah, Steven's showing his displeasure right now.
Yeah, you look at the card count here. Let's see. It's 5-possession game. As we go for a little top deck, both do it. Knob's going to be content to draw, for sure.
Yeah, but for how long?
You look at remember, 20 is the limit, but you got to think someone's going to break it early, and there we go.
Yeah, that's a jailbreak.
Jailbreak and a half, and there's a +2 from Nom. A little +2 into Ed.
Yeah, that was a good move there. Get Steven some extra cards here. Kind of get this back close.
Steven erases that +2. We're back to basically where we started. 6-13. Does Nom have more ammo control? No, Steven's out. And Nom's out again.
Back to Draw City.
This is what Nom wants, man. This is what he wants. He's trying to frustrate. You can see that. He's trying to frustrate Steven. You can see it.
Yeah, but at some point, I think the drawing just gets a little too much. You got to wonder when you got to really make a move without forcing your opponent
Oh, boy.
to draw on yourself. And here we go.
Steven's going to throw the gauntlet down right there. And Nom's going to fire right back with a +2.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you can see Nom's playing that ammo control. Does Steven have some ammo control back? Oh,
Wow.
Heat check. Huge heat check. Is Nom got to find something here. Does he go back to red? This is where I would think he would.
Yeah, this would be, but it's
He called it, Ard. Called it, man.
Yep.
Gotta think he would go back to red. No, beautiful. Beautiful move.
Yeah.
Is this a draw city?
Yeah, good move there. No.
Yeah, and you can see it. Nom's trying to play defense. Ton of defense from Nom. You can see it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
6-possession game. Nom going to get this back. What?
Oh!
Interesting.
Oh, sneaky! Sneaky!
Sneaky move
Oh,
from
You got to have
Nom.
some, I mean, I don't know.
I can see that. That's a sneaky play.
That's a hell of a call right there.
He's trying to make sure that he doesn't get
Oh
swinged.
my! Top deck for now.
Oh, top deck right
What
there.
is this? A 12-card run to the finish?
That would be.
It feels like it.
That would be insane. Oh,
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait
Well,
a minute.
hold on, maybe.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
He's been
this
saving
might
up
be
those
a
cards.
12-card run to the finish, man. Are you
He's been
kidding me?
saving them up.
Nom,
Wait a minute.
draw,
Wait a
city.
minute.
That's it. That's game. I can tell right now it's game, Art. Are you kidding me?
That's.
You better hope so.
Oh my goodness.
One of the best
Steven's gonna call
draw
him out.
cities you'll ever see. And he finishes on his own card. A 12-card. That's a record for this bot. We had not seen that ever on this bot. It has been a long time. We saw 10.
Incredible.
But, Nom, I had to feel like you were waiting for the right time. There's no way in heck you would do a double red wild without having a finish. I know you like that. Thoughts on where you kind of top decked? We talked about this, man. What were you really good? Did you think you could have did this more in game one? Because draw city is where you make your home. Thoughts on how you were able to run that down and get the win? Steven, I mean, you basically got caught in a comfortable spot. You threw a +4, a couple +2s. You had every answer, but then you got burnt on a 12-card run. Do you have to just live with the results at draw city? What can you do? Or could you have been a little more conservative off the start on ammo?
Well, I mean, honestly, I'd say it's quite the opposite. Maybe I should have been less conservative because I had a +4 that I wanted to maybe perhaps save, but I didn't realize I'd be suffering from a 12-card run here. So I was like, you know what? There's no way that's going to happen. And I saved it, but perhaps I shouldn't have. So that's going to eat me alive tonight if I lose. So, yeah, it's not good. I'm salty. I am salty.
Yeah, or I mean that's the thing with now we talk about it, as he says, draw city has been his forte. It's been the one thing I would say that really makes him different than any other player in group stage. You look at at least in this group, right? You know, Chomik's Brad joins. Chomik's got that split ammo ad, right? We talked about Brock with the fade. Brock, when he gets that fade going, is unbelievable. You look about Nam with the draw city yard. Steven, we're still figuring out. He definitely has signs of just his own style, right? Unique play. Kind of plays the game to where he adjusts on the fly into the corner, and Ghost just plays rapid quick. You got to expect him to not draw city. He's more just play it out, right? Get those lethal finishes, and it's over. Flash in the pants. Do you think Nam needs to continue this draw city train hard? Because that seems to be where it's going. And he says he's going to adjust the game flow. But that's been his big thing so far.
Well, that depends on really if Nam is comfortable with that. Because remember, this is the last game here on Steven's home stand before he goes to Nam here for the second half of this matchup. So really here, I don't know where Nam might go here, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, big moment here for Steven. Had a huge moment. Yeah, I had
Absolutely.
I had a feeling, right? He was doing all those classics for just because of reverse. He only had a little, right? And sometimes when you have little, you gotta hope for things to pay out. And that wild almost flushed both guys' hand, and it made a difference. See what Steven does here. No 15 art. Do the honors.
Yep, Steven, no 15 again. How many cards?
You know what? I'm gonna say this in VC just because I'm that salty. Ended on a 12 card run. Let's end my pick with a 12 card.
There we go, a dozen.
A dozen donuts.
Big moment here, Ed. You got to think if Steven can get this win and get the momentum back, he'd be in the driver's seat. Brad joins the VC. We started with Brad. That's how it works. Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes here. Our big moment in this series. Quick pace already. Yeah, they're flying.
Jeez, this is just quick pace matchup here.
Once again, and we see this all the time as Nam goes into the Pandora's box play. We see these triple plays from Steve. He's trying to get a little bit of a break on the lead on the cards, but Nam isn't phased by that yet. Eddie there? Having trouble with that. All good. We'll go to Art. Art, you got to look here. It's a, oh my goodness. Huge play from Steven.
Great.
He's throwing the gauntlet down, Art. He's throwing it down 2-14 just like that. Back to green, says Nam.
Was that a mistake?
No, that's a beautiful ISO move. No, classic again. He's going to draw it. He's going for the draw city.
You gotta be kidding me. That's one of those great plays by Nam. And it makes the opponent just question this.
No, but now, can he get out of it? Can he get out of it now? Because now the top decks are working. Yeah, well, of course he will. Saves the ammo. Keeps it alive.
No, I'm just thinking really smart there with that.
How further can he go with the smart plays, though? That's the thing. I think it's gonna. It would have been game. It would have been game, man.
Oh,
That close.
Perfect move there by Nam.
Man, Nam is just pulling a master class on just knowing when to draw. That's really he's gonna play double JT. He's playing keep away.
Where he's comfortable.
Yep. Draw City is where Nam's been comfortable hard. He's making his. He's still going to continue it.
That is just something that Nam has been perfecting it.
Yeah, it's a read. The problem is top decks happen, but he's going to basically play the percentages. Top deck again, but new color. Nam now he's going to feel pressure. He's going to see what happens here with Steven. Possible Steven play. He goes to Dose now. Nam down 9 cards. He can only go to green 3. Steven for check. Big moment here in the series. Can Steven get this to check? No! Oh, man. I'm starting to lag here, Art. Hold on. I'm going so quick.
Oh, boy.
I know, right?
These guys are just not.
They're not slowing down. They're not slowing down, man.
Inch.
In the red. They both play red now.
New color.
New color. Let's see what Steven will do. Looking to get this to 3. He's been on the brink all day. No worries. Red 7.
Hungry.
Well, Steven right now hungry for a win here.
He's hungry for a win and he's hungry for food.
To red 5 now.
+4.
He's hungry for a win. Is
the ball? He gets the call out.
Oh, called him out.
Man, that's huge for Nam. Now he can play more of that draw city, slow the pace down hard. That's on his car. That's tough. That's tough.
Perfect on non there to call him out.
Rookie mistakes, Ed. We talked about rookie mistake. We talked about this. We've seen it from Steven. We've seen it from Ghost in this group as we go blue. It's starting to bite early, but let's see if he can recover. Nothing
Sometimes
here.
you just play so fast that, yeah, I mean.
Still nothing. Yeah, sometimes you play quick out of your skin. It doesn't work. It doesn't translate. Knob's closing the gap hard. He's finding everything.
Oh, yeah. It's closing quickly.
Knob is finding everything under the sun now all of a sudden on his blues.
Repair. Oh.
Interesting switch.
Oh, but Non's okay with it. He'll keep going.
No, I'm good with it for now. Steven draws, though. Knob's got a chance to tie. He's going to go into draw city. Comfortable with it. This is where he wants, hard.
This is what Nom does best. And I guess we were talking about it before the start of this game 3 here, and it's now being shown right here.
Most opponents, Ed, you think would draw city. You would think you have an advantage because top decks would naturally favor you at some point. But with Nam, because that's one of his main style entities, it's hard to know what he has in the sense that he's got so many cards he can just play it off at any time. And there it is, right? He can just play comfortable, patient, and just go into it. It's a different type of game.
And he attacks like when you don't expect it, like last game when he had 12 cards left. I mean, you got to be on edge the whole time, it seems.
It is, and we talk about, our Nam. The one thing he'll have to worry about is the old Brock coming up, right? Brock's one of those guys who can get out of those situations. We know Nam has had some issues. We're not going to say so much to Pierre because that was a different scenario. Obviously, some of those other losses this year, Wurzer, Ed, myself, those are different kind of losses. Here, he's finding his rhythm and element in a situation that we don't normally see from him, doing multiple draw cities in the game. We saw that a little bit last week, but we hadn't really seen it up until that point for sure. Now he's playing a little keep away into those number efficient ways.
Yep, just keeping it simple for now. Just getting rid of some cards. Oh,
Steven, is that comeback card? Throw that comeback card. 21 in the books.
21, yeah, that is noted.
Comeback, no, we've only seen one so far, one comeback. Blue 7. Well, now I already got to think, this is what Steven wants, though, Ed. And Ed, Steven wants an ammo exhaustion war. That's what he wants. When the ammo is exhausted, like we're seeing right now, that's when Steven can cook. And right now, we're getting close to that territory.
yeah, I mean, Nam is just so good with the ammo control. So if Steven can just kind of play it simple, I think that's where he's more comfortable right now.
Numbers are getting limited right now. You can see the numbers are starting to get limited, but we still have plenty of ammo left. That's a little bit different type of game. Steven's going to throw a heat check red wild. Nam goes back to yellow.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
Oh, Steven ain't happy. Steven ain't happy.
Yeah, you got to think, Guard. This is Nam Ninja mode tonight. Every time he's got something, Steven has something, Nam's got an answer. Gap shrinking at now. This is a big moment here.
Yep, Nam's trying to close in a little bit. I mean, Steven's a little bit stuck right now. And hungry.
Yeah. We really don't pay attention to the hungry part, so
we'll see. He's hungry for a
could be
W.
affecting him.
He is hungry. He is hungry for that W, as I mentioned earlier, and it's getting close. 2 possession. Not once again content to just draw back.
Oh my goodness. Steven can't do
It's one of the
much.
most unique styles in the game, Mark. No one does it like Nam on draws. We said this before as we goes past 2. He wants you to throw the ammo toward. That's what Nam wants. You throw the ammo towards him, and he's going to get more cards and play the percentages. That's what Nam wants. And he'll find that
We're
crazy
about
run.
to we're about I may want to tell you all this, but we're about to see the deck get reshuffled
Yeah,
here.
well, it's going to
Oh
get
boy.
reshuffled for sure. 2+4 somewhere between each guy.
Oh boy.
The game is wild if we go into a reshuffle. Here comes Steven with the triple.
Oh,
Now I'm
here
going to try to
comes.
fire back. Let's see.
I would think now would more than definitely fire back right here.
Yeah, he did Steven down to 3. I think Nam's going to not. He's not going to draw city this. He's going to go play this one clean. +2.
Oh, yeah.
There he goes.
There's the +2. Just a quick classic 1-2. That's it. The Super League move from last year, Ed, for sure.
Yep.
Now we're running to the upper decks here of red. Steven's out. Here comes Nam. Still more in the tank, Art. Still more in the tank for Nam. We're out of cards.
Well, if Steven doesn't have a card here, we're gonna see a deck reshuffle.
+2, and that's
The
it.
deck
Oh,
has
there
been
it is.
reshuffled.
There it is. First reshuffle of the night. Long game, and now we start getting to Steven's territory yet. When the ammo's exhausted, this is where he's cooked.
Mm-hmm.
But
This is where he's
Nam's
got
going
to
to
make his
fire
move,
right
but here comes
away.
Nam.
He's going to fire right back, guard. Huge play.
Great play there.
Now I'm finding every answer in Draw City, it appears. Now this is going to become a new ball game. Here comes Steven looking to fire back. Yes, Art.
Steven has been trying
Here
to
it comes.
do something, but Nam has always been answering it back. Yeah, it's crazy right now.
Back to Green Wild. Unbelievable. The amount of classics he's done, or just try ISO plays on Wilds, has been unbelievable tonight.
Just in this game, too. I mean, wow.
Here's an ISO again.
I mean, that's well, you gotta understand, Steve. That's how D1 players some of these guys are. Nam doesn't care about feelings. He's just out here trying to make the best move to keep the game going if he doesn't have a way to finish it. That's how he plays.
Nam likes to make his opponents get frustrated, and we are seeing it right here. This is what we always expect for Nam.
That's how he is. Remember, we saw this. There's a +2. There it is again. Just a classic 1-2 edge. Just trying to disturb the water. That's all he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Forced a mistake,
That's
and
right.
there's the mistake. That's what he's hoping for. Yep.
Oh,
My goodness.
See if Steven can run this back here. He's done a great job keeping his composure through a bunch of... Another wild coming from Nam. In the KT.
jeez.
Nam has had so many regular wilds tonight, and it's working. Is this a finishing from Nam? Finishing move.
Oh my God! It
could be.
Yeah, this is gonna. Yeah, same song, second verse. Nam has done it again. Or I got a feeling. Unbelievable. The tactician on Draw City.
21 card comeback.
Nothing for Nam. No problem. He's 2 away from getting this win and locking into round 12. Nam, that was one of your most impressive wins. You had 6 KT Classic moments or isolation. You haven't got the regular wild +4, but you're getting the regular wilds. It's been an ammo war. I mean, your thoughts on just been but you gotta look. You had more +4s, right? So it's just really how you use your ammo management. You guys have both had a lot of +2s, right? Now, talk to me about this Draw City and what really has been working for you since the bye week, because I think that's been the one thing in your game we saw in the reg season, but we hadn't seen it in the playoffs. What's been really working on that? Well, man, I'd love to see those read Draw City. It's Draw City, man. And you got to think, Draw City is going to continue. Steven, you just got burnt again. Same song, second verse, the last 2 games. And I wouldn't say you did nothing wrong. You got to where you want to be in an ammo exhaustion war. You've gotten plenty of ammo tonight, other than the regular wilds. But we know you're a guy that likes the +4s and +2 control. Is there anything you can do to adjust to Nam style, or you just have to see it out and try to make strategical calls? Because you're getting burnt on one isolation every time when you get down 2 or 3 cards.
I think I know what to do now. I'll just leave it at that.
All right. And, kind of going into this game now, Nam he's thrown the gauntlet down. This is one of the most interesting players in the league in the sense that he wants you to go into Draw City, right? Not every player has that ability. You look at the likes of the closest you could say, almost the closest you could say that someone would do that would be similar to what you would see in. I don't even know. Sometimes I do that, not to this extent. Tapir is one that does Draw City, right? But he doesn't go to this extent. I think Nam's just a classic. It's his own unique style where he's forcing you to play the house, right? He's basically at the blackjack table, and he's banking on getting all the king, queen, jacks, tens, and aces up his sleeve, whereas he wants you to hit on 12 every time, right? Because he wants you to hit on 12, and he's at 11. He's getting a king. You're going to get 12. You're only getting a 2 or a 3. Thoughts on just that style from Nam, where it's almost becoming a echo chamber. He's forcing you to go back. And how do you adjust to that if you're a player in Steven's position? Because now he doesn't have no homestand. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, with his unique style, and so Steven hasn't really played anyone like him, so he doesn't really know how to play against him, and he's kind of figuring that out with these first 3 games. And he says he knows what to do now. I think he's kind of learned what Nam has done with the drawing, and I'm interested to see how he maybe reacts differently going into this next game. And he mentioned how he's hungry. He wants food, so maybe he's playing a little desperate. He wants to go eat, but maybe he's thirsty too. Maybe someone needs to hand him a middle road energy to drink while he plays this game.
Yeah, man, maybe. I like the plug there, Ed. Art, I gotta say, man, this has been. I don't even know what to say, man. This has been just a game of runs and ammo exhaustion where we all thought for sure Steven ammo exhaustion, that's where he's cooked. But do you think the case of Steven has to learn all of these styles on the fly, right? He has no playbook. You think about his first game against Ghost. He did a great job. He almost played against Ghost's style and it worked. We said Brock would be the hardest opponent and hit with Nam. They would be the 2 hardest opponent. He did a great job against Brock. But tonight, it's a little bit different in the sense there's a lot more ISO plays. He hasn't seen that. How do you think he can adjust to the ISO game, man? Because we know Nam is a guy that will go lower. He's got that 9-card, 10-card package where he can just end it right there. Thoughts on that?
That is something 60%. That is, again, it's some people usually Nam loves to do that sort of thing. It just makes his opponents sort of get frustrated, and really, I think for Nam, he's right now in a great position as we go into his homestand. I think right now he's in the driver's seat. He's in the driver's seat right now to probably go full speed ahead here.
Full speed ahead. We're going to ask that full speed ahead question like a train, Ard. Nam's homestand, 14-12 is gone. Here we go.
Yeah, 12-14 is gone for you, Nam. How many cards for game number 4?
13 is going to split it in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see if 13 is lucky.
We'll see if it's lucky. Knowing him, we'll see if we have a plan A. That is insane.
Wow. What a start.
That's going to favor Namor because, with Steven, you got to look at him. He wants an ammo exhaustion war. Not like that. You don't want to start an action card and take it out of the deck, especially a +4. That's an advantage Nam early, just right off the bat.
Just immediately. Jeez.
He can go into Draw City anytime. And Nam, I think, someone that's just going to play this into a more fickle game here, Ed, right? He's got the advantage, got the lead, step on the gas. Because if he gets this win, Steven's going to have to be in a desperation mode of tie because you don't want to play Chomik the last week.
That's not an easy opponent.
No. And here comes now. There's a simple little classic 1-2 art. No pluses, just a simple 1-2. Now, first time that he's got the lead here in a while, where it hasn't been the finishing run. Steven's just going to throw the hammer and give the jailbreak. Fade look from Nam. We talked about the fade. He picked it up from Brock.
They're both good.
Draw City again. Here we go again.
Here we go. Oh, but that's a jailbreak.
Well, that's a jailbreak. I think that's what Steve. You see, I think that's what Steven wants, Ed. He wants Nam, but Nam's going to have he wants Nam to get out. He doesn't want Nam to go in draw City. That's the plan. I think that's what he's going to try to do. You got to interrupt those, yeah. He's going to try to speed up Nam's processes where he doesn't force, but he doesn't want that, Art. He doesn't want that.
Oh, he doesn't want that. And Nam's taking it full advantage.
And
there we go, drawing.
And that's what he wants. If Nam has to draw, he's comfortable. When Steven draws, he starts to get worried. That's the thing, right? Spicy check there. 000.
Interesting.
For Med,
you don't see that. You don't see that.
Yeah, it used to be when you switched on a 0, you were blind back in the day. Now you switch on a 0, it's just like just lighting a fire to the gas lighter.
You're mostly just wanting to burn something up.
Steven going to go back to red, triple play, Nam for the tie, or maybe the lead here. He's got the lead with a +2.
That is lead.
Man, now every single answer. Steven's going to play it tricky. Nam going to go back to yellow and agree with it for now. He's still agreeing with it.
A little risky there.
Nothing from Steven. Nam looking for a finish. Is this a +4 to end it? It's over. Wow. And it's 3-1 Nam, 1 away from the round of 12. Steven has to tie, or it doesn't look good for week number 5, Art. Steven, I definitely saw what you were trying to do. You were trying to speed up Nam to where he would not get into draw City. But your thoughts on just that game? Did you think you could have adjusted a little better compared to the last game, or you just got burnt to the sense that he had a little bit more of a stronger hand?
Yeah, he had better hand. I had no ammo, at all, so not much I could do there.
Nam, you did a great job. Did you not have much ammo? Was just those couple draws that able to give you the connector? Or were you able to play a little bit more of that, hey, you know what, he's trying to undercut me on this draw City, so I'll force him to make the mistake and let him make the mistake that won you the game. You're 1 away. How do you approach it from getting it done? Plus, wow. Artist is getting it's draw City, man. It's draw City. That's where Nam is able to use his innate ability to play the house, right? He's playing the dealer and find a way. We saw this in March where he was just exceptional. Now, of course, July was a little bit different because there was a lot of the opponents were quad 4. We talked about that in 3. And then he met his match in July with Lane. Lane had him. And then, of course, there were some rules. And then Tapir found him in just a unique spot where there was no power play. But with no power play, Art, you can tell draw City is affected. You know, at the end of the day, you can play single runs. You don't have to worry about the stupidity of messing up a 4-card chain, right? There's no back-end defense. It makes the game a lot more effective because draw City's working. Thoughts on how Nam's been able to get into a check position here and possibly a checkmate? Remember, no such thing as a checkmate in Super League because we have to play all 6 games, but a definite check here if he can get the win. Thoughts on that, Art?
Yeah, I think Nam he's using this sort of thing towards his advantage here, and Steven's kind of just buying into all of it. That's where I'm mostly just throwing it at. Because Nam has been, after game 1, has just been going, and he's been continuing to just play the style that he likes, that he is more comfortable with, and it's working like a charm right now, and just 1 win away for guaranteeing a spot into the round of 12. This is mostly a big moment here for Nam.
Big moment that he got a thing for Nam. He knows what's coming to get the win here. Dust it off. You don't even got to worry about Brockman. We know the Rock is going to be someone just different, right? That was a hype matchup. take that hype away and save it for the round of 12. That's what Nam's trying to do here. And that's a big moment. If he can get the fourth win, that game 6 at that rate, of course, it's going to matter for GD, but he wants to go full throttle and make a statement. That's how Nam. Steven now has been really good at making ties. What do you think he's got to do? One last thought before we get into Nam's homestand, because we're out of that 12, 13, 14 package, and we know that 15 game 6 is possible. So thoughts on what Steven's got to do with a potential lower start here?
Yeah, I mean, now I'm at this point, he's just trying to take care of business. Steven's just gotta see if he can break up those draws. It'll be difficult not to get into a draw city with Nam, but I think if you can avoid those draw cities where Nam really can take the advantage and usually get a bunch of good cards off the draw cities, I think he's just got to try somehow to avoid those and split them up more.
All right, well, Art, big moment right here. Nam game 5, 1 away. Can he finish it off, or does Steven force in game 6 looking for a tie? Big moment. No 12, 13, 14.
Yep, no 12, 13, 14 here, Nam. How many cards for game number 5? 11.
We're going to go one down from the 12 pack. This is it. Nam looking for it right here.
Is this it?
Red 4. If he gets the win here, Art, you got to think what a relief it would be for him. For Steven, he's got to get the tie. You do not want to go into next week with Young Boss split ammo. That's a lethal style to play. Into a double move right there as we go. Call it. There's the double move. Called it, Art. We knew the double was coming.
Yep, that's something that we always wait to see on.
Back to Red, trying this ISO game. Does not come prepared to the party. You bet he will. You bet he will, Hard. He's going to go for a huge
Wow.
trip 6. Devil's Wild.
Pretty quick rainbow there.
Oh, yeah, it might have been Rainbow.
Wow.
That's a heat check, Ed. Heat check city. Huge heat check from Nam. Throwing the gauntlet down. Nam is already starting to put pressure on Steven. Does Steven have an answer? He's going to throw a +4.
He throws a +4, but is that just trying?
Nam throws a +4 and keeps it yellow of his own. If anything you do, I'm going to fire back as well.
Turnaround is fair play.
Oh, that's crazy. He's going to go into Nam's color. Oh, no!
Oh, man.
And it goes back to yellow with a crossover.
This is a bad spot for Steven.
Yeah, he's crossing them up with the wilds, Art. He's crossing them up.
Oh my goodness. Heat checks.
Heat check. Is this a game for no heat check winner? But that's crazy for now. It's crazy. Looking for it right here. Man. Does he have it?
Double play to get the win.
Game over. +4. Yeah. That's it. Nam is going to the round 12 no matter what happens next week. What a style. What a match. He just put it on ice, Art. Nothing to say. He's got one more game here. Nah, that was a masterclass on wild control. You know, we talk about your game, 9 wilds tonight. It hasn't been your game to control the wilds as normal. You're one of the more guys that use a sender when need to and just go for the finish on the wild where you got burned on game 1, but then you adjusted on games 2 through 5. Talk to me about through the adjustments and what you're going to do for this last game, because you know the possible opponent could be JT lurking. How are you going to possibly play that last game to maybe simulate some stuff for game 6? Steven, I mean, unfortunately, your first loss, but it's a tough style to play, right? It's nothing like you saw with considering Ghost. I think you played well against Ghost, but we said Brock and Nam were the 2 toughest guys. What did you learn here? I know you got one more game, but what did you learn so far through these 5 games that you can adjust for next week? Because that game you got out wild basically. You got out wilded.
Yeah, there's some stuff that I couldn't control, but there's other stuff that I definitely could. Like, I should have definitely adjusted to Nam's gameplay a bit more earlier. I think that would have given me a bit more of an advantage, or to just even things up. But I mostly stuck with my same sort of game style for those first 3 games. So, yeah. Tough luck and slight difference in skill.
Already got thing. We talk about this, the echo thing, Steve. The echo chamber, man. The echo chamber that Nam plays. It got to Steven tonight, but he's got one more game. How do you think Steven's got to build this? We talked about this, build momentum for this last game so he can go into a match where Chomik will not be easy, but you don't want to fall down to a rabbit hole, right? You lose this game, it's -4 in the GD. If you lose or you win this game, it's -2. That can make the difference. Thoughts on what he's got to do to salvage this one back? Because game differential is the number one tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to figure out here for both guys here. For Nam, it just might be one more thing to just try to see if he can try to have a better advantage in the standings. While for Steve, Stefan here, it's just you're mostly trying to just make sure that you're not in a terrible situation as you're looking forward to Chomik next week.
Yeah, Chomik is next. Remember, reminder for Chomik, Ed, you got to thank you for Chomik. Right now, he's loving what he's seeing. Right, he's at a +2 at 5 points. If Nam wins this game, that's Steven at -4. Chomik at a +2. That means Steven next week to have any chance, he'd have to go in there and win 5-1, that is not easy to do. Thoughts on what he's got to do to at least make this a +2, -2 differential and keep it almost neutralized before Chomik next week? It will be at this point has to be must win to keep his Super League dreams alive. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. Nam's really holding the advantage here. I think maybe even you match Nam's strategy, trying to adapt to how he plays and maybe match how he plays. And maybe that's the way to go about it. I mean, what he's doing so far hasn't really worked too well, but we'll see what he can do here.
All right. 14, 12, 14, 13, 12, 11's off the board. I got a feeling Nam will bust out his famous. We know JT's lurking, but let's see. Let's ask him that question.
Nam, again, you know the cards that you can't play. How many cards for the final game? Number 6.
Nam in there. He did his job. Let's see what he'll do. Does he bust out the JT? We know 9 is a possibility. It's one of they both love 9. Let's go 10.
He's going to go 10.
Okay. Save some of his stuff up. He's in, right? Next week won't matter. Next week doesn't matter for him. That's the thing. This week he did the mission. Next week's just about having fun. So I think that'll be an experimental week. You got to think for Nam. Let's see here. Big moment, Ed. Steven's got to get this game, and that's not how you want to start it off.
Rough start. Unless he's doing it on purpose. Maybe he needs.
That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing I could think of. But you think, Art, here, this would be unfortunate because when you do that, that's just Nam's wheelhouse. He's just going to be comfortable.
This is basically where Nam is going to just sit on back and just kind of relax a bit.
Never mind. There's the switch.
Well, he sits on back and waits until something like that just happens, and then Nam will just go on ahead and just start playing.
10-9 now.
9-all now, but Nam has possession arrow.
Nam with the PA off the home start. We continue to run the Blues end. Pretty clean here. Nam 0 sugar. There's your card.
There we go.
Here we go again, Ed.
Oh boy. Is this already?
Is this the dagger, Ard? Is this the dagger?
Jesus.
That's the dagger, Ard. That's 5-1. Nam, as soon as he... Yeah, there it is. Unbelievable. 1 minute 14 in typical Nam style has done the business. I don't think you could have done anything there.
What can you do?
Steven, unfortunately, it wasn't the night. What do you got to do for next week against Chomik? Because there's nothing to add on that game. And yeah, negative. Thoughts on what you got to do? Nam, obviously, great win here tonight, buddy. You had to get the job done right. You got to think about this. You were one little send away from getting the potential first 6-0. You did the business. But now you go into a match with Brock where it really doesn't matter. So my thoughts really for you is what do you got to do in the round 12? Because we're going to still have no power play, but it'll be an actual winner-take-all scenario, best of 7. What do you got to look forward to in the round 12 with next week being more of a have-fun week? Steven, your season's on the line next week, right? You got to figure something out. You're going to be playing Chomik, who has the split ammo style, which is not easy, but it is something where it comes into an ammo war. What do you have to do next week to win it and keep your season alive in this huge all-stakes match? What do you got?
Well, yeah, to answer your question, it is definitely not a good look. Thank the Lord for that extra third spot because I heard you guys only did like the top 2 out of each group. So I'm just
Yes,
like
back to
thankful for that third spot because from the way I see it, it's looking like a three-way race for that third spot with me, Brock, and Ghost. So I'm just hoping they also kind of, I mean, both of them are going up against each other. So I'm hoping for a tie, and I'm just hoping that I'm up against Chomik. So all I have to do is pray that I beat him. Pray that I like absolutely sweep the floor 6-0. That's highly unlikely, but a guy can dream, so I'm just hoping that's the case because yeah, it's not looking good for me at all.
Well, the one thing I will say, Steven, the good thing is if Brock does take care of business tonight or ties, you won't have to worry about Ghost. Ghost is on a week 5 bye, so you now have to, basically you have to hope that Brock ties tonight or even gets the win. That would actually help you in the sense that, hey, at least Ghost is gone, and it could be you and Chomik possibly for the last spot with Brock. Who knows where he'll be. But round 12 is going to be exciting. As I always, never underestimate the opponent. For now, I'll enjoy week 5. No, I'm locked in, and we'll go from there. Yeah. And you got to think, it was just tonight. It was just Nam. He showed his class. At the end of the day, we said it coming in. He loves Draw City, and his just rapid pace with the echo chamber, he did the business. It was very similar to what it was in T4, I have to say. Very T4-esque run from Nam. But your thoughts on his Nam moving into week 5 in the sense of having a free game against Brock in round 12, and what does Steven got to do for next week with a big match against Chomik coming off the bye?
Well, I think Nam versus Brock is a really cool matchup. Pretty different play styles, which I'm going to be very interested to see how those two kind of clash. And well, for Steven, it's maybe he'll be. I mean, with Chomik, I think it might be a little. You're not going to have this kind of strategy with the draw cities and stuff, so maybe it'll be more comfortable for him. But I mean, he's gonna win a lot of games, and it's not going to be easy at all. So the odds are against him currently.
And you think about next week, or for Steven, yes, we say, okay, Chomik split ammo. But you never know, right? Because the crazy part is Chomik's he's been through the whole super. I haven't seen much split ammo, right? It's been his main forte. We know him and Allen are the two guys you always look for split ammo. We haven't seen it. He's been able to adjust his game flow. How do you think Steven's got to adjust? And your thoughts on really the Brock Nam game? It'll matter more depending on what happens tonight. We don't know, but for Nam, it's basically a rest week before he's going to have to go into the battle in basically 2 weeks. Almost a pseudo bye week for him next week. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this: is you're Nom now, and you're kind of in the same position as Brock.
No, JT's advantage.
Well,
He's in the same
JT, yeah, JT, my bad. Mostly you're in the same position like JT is. You just kind of sit on back and just play week 5. Sort of just see what happens because there's nobody behind you that's gonna. There's not like 3 people behind you that can just jump over you and knock you out. So really, it's just gonna be one of those sort of calm weeks here next week for Nam, and he'll just get ready for the round of 12.
Yeah, you look at Nam, 6 points plus 4 GD, leading the group now. You look at JT, 7 points, right? 7 points, and yet plus 4 on the GD, and he still has one more game. Nam has one more game, so that just shows you JT and Nam got his win, but it just shows you how dominant JT has been so far. With only Sanford left on his schedule. For Nam, only Brock left. Let's go into the old graphic here. And boy, oh boy, what a matchup we'll have a little bit later tonight. This is going to be a hell of a game. I'm going to have Ard with me. Brock Ghost, and now it's pretty much the stage is set. If Brock wins or ties, that's it for Ghost. His season's over. If Ghost wins this game, he's going to have to play a musical chair game where we'll see what happens in the last week. For Steven, it's going to have to come down to whatever happens with young boss Chomik. I mean, we are going to find out what happens with that come week 5, but we'll have to see what happens tonight at 8 o'clock. Then we'll have the off day tomorrow, and then a big gets fired up at 2:30. So far the only day game. We've had morning game and only night, but our only first day game, which will be Lane DJ. DJ has never lost to Lane, 8-0 in his career. We'll see if that changes. And then the big one, the Teratology. JT doesn't have much to play for, but he said he wants that 3-0 on Sanford in 24 and a 3-1 all time. Huge game, Sanford JT, the last game of the week 4 slate, which will be at 9 o'clock Wednesday. Big one in store. For Nam, what a night tonight. He locks his ticket into the round 12. To be determined on who he plays. You got to think with him and JT being so close, it'd be a points race. Could be locked into that 8 or 9 spot for Nam. For JT, he's looking good at the 7 speed locked in if he beats Sanford. In fact, if JT beats Sanford now, that would officially clinch him as the 7 seed because Nam can only max out 9 points. So JT 1 away from getting that 7 seed locked in. We'll see what happens coming into week 5. For myself, Ed, for helping me commentate a little bit late. Glad he came. And then Ard, we'll see Ard back here at 8 o'clock tonight. Big game with Brock and Ghost. For Brad and our 2 players, Steven and Nam, it was Nam, just a masterclass after that game 1 wild save to get the finish, get the job done, and punch his ticket into the RO12. We'll see him next week against Brock. We'll see Steven in a possible huge game against Chomik, depending on what happens tonight with Brock and Ghost. We'll see if it's going to be 3 guys for 2 spots or we got the ultimate 4 guys competing, or excuse me, 4 guys competing for 2 spots. We'll see if it's 3 for 2 or the 4 for 2 special coming up in about an hour and a half. We'll know the result of that game. For all of us, we'll see you at 8 o'clock. Thank you again. Going to be a good one. Brock Ghost Elimination Monday begins.